I would just say, I think great team effort. I did not realize until I was handed these that, 5 of our 8 girls that played today scored in double figures. So I love the sharing of the basketball at the offensive end. I think that's one of the things that we've done a couple of adjustments to things that we normally do just to try to share that better. I give a lot of credit just on the pace of what we're doing offensively right now to Faith, who's obviously, there's a reason you guys always call her name, when you want her to come down here to the film room or to the media room. And then also Maria Martianez. I think that Maria and Faith they just grown by leaps and bounds during the month of February as far as being able to keep the ball in their hands and let things develop. And that's actually one of the things that just 2 weeks ago we struggled with, because we were starting to try to put the ball in their hands a little bit more, and we didn't respond well at South Dakota State when they were running at us. And so today I think it kind of felt, there wasn't anybody coming to double, and I think the pace with which they did things was so good. But a low turnover game for us, which is always good. And it freaks me out a little bit that they got 29 threes up against us, here today. But I think a good majority of those were contested threes. But I think at the same time, that's something that we've got to, if this is going to be a conference tournament opponent for us, we've got to really look at that film as a team and really try to defend that three-point line a little bit more. But I do think we defended the rim well. I think that we rebounded well. And so it just, dominating numbers on the boards. It's really nice to see an almost 50% shooting performance, from the field. And I think that speaks also just to the girls being comfortable with some of the adjustments we've made the last couple of weeks and being able to get some repetition with that. So anyway, I've been in, with our last 3 or 4 games, I'm in a little bit more of a bear mode right now. And so I need to kind of be able to sit back now and just go, good job, Faith. Nice job. I'll relax them a little bit. But
Russell, Jaden.
All right. Coach, after a tough road trip, it's nice to come back home and get a nice win here. Is there something that changed for you guys from that last game on the road to this one?
No, I actually think that if we had something that was beginning to change, it was even before that last road trip. I think that I haven't really known why the month of February for us, that we've just been pretty flat emotionally. I think we even had times today that I think we had different rotations come in and they didn't bring energy and talking in. They kind of came in and either matched or didn't quite live up to what we already had going on the floor today. And we went through those 3 weeks of play with 7 people, back in January. We were very successful during that. We gave away a lot of emotion and a lot of energy during that time. And I've sat back and, you as a coach, you were constantly thinking the why, or what, action, reaction. So I haven't known if January just took a lot out of us, and that's why in February, but because traditionally we've always been a team that's been better in the second round of play as opposed to the first round of play. So I think it's a credit also, though, to the rest of our conference opponents, that we were a very different team this year than what they knew last year when everything was centered around Vicky inside. And so I think it's a big credit also to their making adjustments, and there'll be one final time that we'll all make adjustments against each other, going to Sioux Falls here in 2 weeks. But we really haven't had that. You might ask Faith that question here in a second, but there hasn't been like that epiphany moment, either bad or good. It's just kind of just we've struggled a little bit with our consistency in the last 2 to 3 weeks. But this game here today, and then hopefully against Omaha here at home for senior night next Thursday, those are the steps that we want to see that there's a crescendo. I use that word a lot with our team, and I've used it here in this room a lot this year too. You want to have that crescendo into the conference tournament and pray that you're healthy, and pray that you're rested, and then you're ready to put a run of 3 games together.
Your bigs were dominant tonight, or this afternoon. We go 20 for 33 from the field for 46 points. It's really nice when you can get that dominant post play when you're not really knocking down the outside shots like you want to.
Well, and I think the thing I would say on that is we weren't bad from the outside today either, but when you've got Blair Bryce comes in and she goes 4 for 5, the first 5 times she touches the ball, I think that's probably Blair's first half performance coming off the bench for us today was probably some of the most focused I've seen her offensively in a while, maybe since North Dakota State, when we were in Fargo. She had a huge double-double night, that night as well. But that's a fantastic thing to have, because then that gives either Maria or Faith a break, and Blair comes in and does that. And, so I'm very, very happy just to see how well the ball got shared today. I think, and that being said, I think we still missed 6 or 7 layups, you know, in the first quarter, but that's the coach in me, you know, that you're always wanting to kind of pick on those 1 or 2 things that you want to be better, but that works okay here on our home court. But again, I think the part we're pressing with our girls is that those are the things that we're giving away our margin of error if those things continue to happen when we go to conference tournament here in 2 weeks. So we kind of have to keep picking at those things, but at the same time, I may not be showing it in my face here today, but I'm very proud of our effort today. I'm proud of the toughness against a very good Western Illinois team that's known for their offense. You know, so not to take anything away from being able to hold them to 55 today. I think a lot of that just comes from the intangibles of our girls.
Faith, you guys are playing with a lot of confidence, especially the bigs as of late. Is it something that you guys have been working on, the post players specifically, where you just like, we got to pick up the pace and then sharing the confidence a little bit?
One thing I think it has to do with is just the coaching staff having countless confidence in us, telling us that they have our back, that they trust our decisions with the ball, trust us with the ball actually, and the different plays they put in this later on in the season that gives the post more, I guess, responsibility with the ball and gets the ball out of the guards. It just gives us more confidence and, you know, our teammates having our back. So.
All right, Faith, last game of the season on Thursday. Is there something specifically for you personally that you want to work on before tournament time comes around?
I probably would say defensively, I think I need to step it up on the 3-point line. Just guarding the 3-point line, because a lot of people in our conference like to shoot the 3. And like she said tonight, we had way too many 3s shot on us. But yeah, I think that's something I need to improve on.
Coach, last game of the season on Thursday. Are you going to watch minutes a little bit more, seeing as it's the last game before the tournament? Are you just going to play it by the way the game goes? Or
Yeah,
everybody will go?
Sorry to cut you off.
No,
I knew where you were going with that. I think we've got a great ending to regular season because we will actually probably end up with 10 days before we have to play our first round game at conference tournament. You know, we're not going to be able to achieve a first or second seed. So that means we're not going to play until Sunday, I believe the 6th. So from the 25th all the way until the 6th, you know, that's going to be our recuperation time. So I think the thing we really probably want to do more than anything else is just come out and just play as hard as we can again. You know, and then even, let me just question asked, in my head I already answered it, every game has to be that way when we get to Sioux Falls. At conference tournament time, you know, you can't pace yourself, you know, through round 1, round 2, round 3. I mean, it's all guts. If you want any glory, it's all guts, you know, at that point. And so if we've got to play Faith for 38 minutes on Sunday and she has to turn around and do it again on Monday, sorry, Faith, you know, a spring break will be, you know, hopefully for somebody else, you know. So I just think that's the time of year we've worked very hard, especially because of the month of January, to save our kids' legs, you know, coming into this time of year. But there's no more saving to be done. Now it's just about putting the work in, you know, and going and running to the battle, you know, in every game that we go to. So we've got plenty of time the way our schedule is set up to recuperate and to be ready. And that's we're looking forward to that. She'll enjoy her off tomorrow, okay? But I promise you she'll be ready on Monday too. So.